Boop. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April the 13th, 2021. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 135, Daniel 6, 1 through 28, and then 1 John 2, 12 through 17. And I'm going to take a look at Daniel 6, 1 through 28, because it's the story of Daniel in the lion's den, and, it's a pretty awesome story. I'm going to talk about all the hungry lions. All kinds of hungry lions. And in this story, they play the preeminent role. It's all about a lion's den. So, apparently if you're the king of the Medes and the Persians and all these people, one of the things you do is you keep a pit full of hungry lions in your house just in case you need to get rid of somebody that makes you mad. Hey, leadership 101. Anyway, but the story's not really about the lions. The lions, the lions play a role in it, but there's another set of hungry lions I think we should be paying attention to. So the story is basically that Daniel's faithfulness to God is the very thing that gets him in trouble, because Daniel's faithfulness to God is the very thing that sets him apart, distinguishes him from his quote-unquote colleagues in the eyes of the king. And these guys, they're jealous. Powerful people are jealous for power, basically, is what's going on here. And so they were envious of Daniel. They were jealous of how well he was thought of. And they wanted to get rid of him because they didn't want to share that with him. Specifically, they wanted the king to get rid of him. So they put this kind of plan into action where they could pit the king's vanity against Daniel's piety, right? Because they said, the only way we're going to get rid of this guy is if we somehow use his faithfulness to his God, the laws of his own God against him. And so they come up with this really brilliant idea, because, when you're hungry, I guess you think better. But they talk the king into setting this law up, right, where he proclaims this, this period of time in which the only person you can pray to is the king. So now, O king, establish the interdict and sign the document so that it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be revoked, right? Establish an ordinance and enforce the interdict that whoever prays to anyone, divine or human, for 30 days, except to you, O king, shall be thrown into a den of lions. Well, the king's a vain guy. He likes the idea. Sounds good to him. And so he signs the law. Well, Daniel, we're told, knows this law has been signed, but still goes about his business. Even though he knows that the rule is you're only going to pray to the king for these days or you're going to be eaten by hungry lions. Daniel persists in his faithfulness. He prays to God 3 times a day. And even though he knows that all these little hungry lions are watching, he does it because that's what he's supposed to do. That's who he is. And he's more concerned with being faithful to God than stroking the king's vanity or what these hungry little lions can do. So he does it, and he doesn't try to hide it. He just goes up to his room where everybody can see him with the windows open, and he prays to his God 3 times a day, and these hungry little lions pounce on that. Puts the king in a bad position. The king realizes, I think, that he kind of has been suckered in, and he doesn't really want to kill Daniel, but at the same time, what's a king to do? He can't go against his own law. So he has to punish Daniel. And so he takes Daniel, this guy that he doesn't really have anything against, doesn't really dislike, other than that he has been praying to his God and not solely to the king, which Daniel wouldn't have done in the first place, I'm pretty sure. And he puts him in the lion's den. But here's the interesting thing. As he does this, he actually breaks his own law and prays to Daniel's God. He says, "May your God, whom you faithfully serve, deliver you." And he does. Turns out the lions weren't really very hungry for Daniel. God shut their mouths. And so they throws him in there for the night, runs there the next morning, opens the pit, and lo and behold, the lions didn't eat Daniel, didn't want to have anything to do with him, pulls Daniel up out of the pit. So those hungry lions didn't get a meal that night. And either did the hungry little lions that set Daniel up. But don't feel too bad for the real lions. They had a big breakfast. Anyway, that's the DBR for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another DBR. Get out, enjoy this great weather, and we'll see you tomorrow. Boop.